Alright. So here we are back in Factorio. Now last time we were here, we set up all of this stuff, which is pretty good. Now, what we need is to finish automating all of these things so that we can tear down all of the old factory and replace it with a new factory, and then that will allow us to not have all these buildings on top of the iron patch, and to a lesser extent the copper patch. So, let's check. Do we have splitters? And just walk on over there. Yes, we do have splitters. So then the next thing we would want would be the medium power poles and the science and the gun ammo. So let's first clear some inventory space out. It's getting a bit crowded. So you all get to have iron. And just throw all that stuff in. And then do the same thing with coal. Gotta get all this junk out. And there. Then we run over here and keep throwing coal in the furnaces just to get it out of our inventory without wasting it. So there we go. And then same thing with this copper. So you get copper and coal, you get copper and coal, and you, and you, and you, and you. Alright, now it looks like something... Oh, okay. Nothing's going wrong, we just have more copper production than we need at the moment. That's fine. No problem with that. Alright, so then let's... Doing this has temporarily significantly improved the iron plate situation as well, so that's nice. We still have a lot of junk in our inventory, but that's fine. Alright, so we need those, which means we need the iron sticks or whatever. And then we're also going to need steel. Alright, so let's get over here and make some iron sticks. And that is just gonna be... I guess we should expand these belts along. Just make sure that we have all of them. There we go. Alright, so we need to grab iron plates from there, bring them up, and that is going to involve remembering how we did this. So I think we take that out, and send that across like that. Then we pop that in, and bring you up. Alright, nice and easy there. And then we get one of these, which goes there, and takes an inserter. We need to resupply on inserters. Let's grab another 50 of those. And we're also going to need a resupply on assembling machines. So let's just make a couple. We're going to need to automate assembly machines soon so that we don't have to constantly be doing this. And just like 2 of those should be fine for now, probably. And then we have our little emergency supply. And then we need to power all of these up, which means grabbing more power poles, which we apparently also ran out of. So we head all the way over here, grab 50 of those, and run back. Alright, there we go. It's been a while since biters have attacked, which is mildly concerning. Probably fine. Alright, so then we just run that along. And these need to all come forwards. Like that. And then we need to get that down there. Which, yeah, is officially too far, which means we need that. So now that can go through. And then just curve in like that, I guess. Yeah, I mean, that's technically not how I've been doing it these other places. So let's take that out, just to have this standardized and nice. We have that there. That comes out there. And then doesn't do whatever that was. Comes around like that. Now we tell these to make iron sticks. And iron sticks. Alright, that is another thing added to the bus. So, let's see here. Next step is we were wanting to make medium electrical poles, so we have the iron sticks now, we have the copper cables, we need steel plates. Which is going to need to be done all the way back here, I think. Alright, so we have the coal, we have the iron. How do we do this? I guess we just pop that in like that. You cross along underneath that. And then come around this way. And then we need more smelters. Oh, we unlocked solar panels at some point. That's fun. I think we're going to need, like, batteries or something for those to work. Alright, so we need steel furnaces, which means we need steel plates to make steel plates. Grab a whole bunch of those. And then queue up a whole bunch of those. Alright, so we want to split those off there, come down there, and just like that. And then place a good number of those. I think that first one is going to be too high up, maybe. No, it'll be fine. So then these all get their inserters. And power poles. like that. And then, can I get rid of these trees so I can see what's going on here? Alright, that power pole needs to go. That only disconnects all of these, which are not necessary, so that's fine. Let's just take that out a little bit. And then we can run that belt to collect the output. And I think we probably want a second row of these. I'm just going to involve moving these around again. So that power pole goes up there, where it won't be in the way. Yeah, that works. Alright, so then we just need to insert fuel and plates and take that down and output and power it all up, and we're good. So then we take this. Actually, because of the way I want this to expand, I actually need these to go this way. And then under that belt. And then over this way. And then under all of that. And then it meets up with that. And we have our steel belt, which is gonna just go onto the bus. And we're gonna bring it along. Has to go a bit further down to not be in the way of any of the new stuff. And there we go. Steel added to the bus once it gets over there. Alright, so then the next step is the, what are they even called? Power poles? Medium power poles? Medium electric poles. So we need steel plates, iron sticks, and copper cable. So first, let's expand that a bit. So that goes like that. Then this has to come out, and we're gonna need more underground belts. So let's do that. Then you go in. Yeah, let's head back and grab some underground belts, which are over this way. And I think they're up here. Oh, I've accidentally been making a billion of them. So let's just grab those. Didn't mean to make that many. I should also remember to do the same thing for those and those. Those I did. These ones I need to do. Yikes. Alright, not the best use of resources. I suppose I'll use all of those long-handled inserters eventually. We should also confirm circuit boards are good. Alright, probably fine from there down. Alright, so we have this. Then we need that to go over there. So you go like that. And then this then goes up and under and out. Alright, so that's steel, check. Next is the iron sticks, which we can just yoink from there, rather than having to go all the way across the belt and back. Alright, so that is in. And then the copper cables. So we need to take sort of that much out. And then also that. Is that right? Yes, that's right. So then this goes in like that and comes up. Alright, then we... Oh, hang on. This actually has to go around this way because we need to have the right number of belts on either side of the machines. Probably at some point we're going to unlock like extra long inserters and then it'll be fine. Alright, for now we have this. And we tell you to make medium electrical poles. And then you get that one, and that one, and that one, and that one, and a medium electrical pole on either side. And that is a thing that exists now. So then we just take that out. We craft up another bunch of iron chests. Put you in and limit you to a stack. Alright. So with that in, we now have, like, most of the things, right? Most of the things we were producing over here, I think should be good now. It's just the science and the military stuff that we haven't brought across, and that's fine. We're gonna need to fix those at some point anyways. So let's... science. As far as science goes, we have all this stuff. Oh boy, this looks fun. Another iron stick recipe? I feel like we already have that one. Weird, but okay. So how does this tech tree even work? So engine unlocks trains and stuff. Yeah, all sorts of stuff downstream from engines. So I guess we'll probably enqueue that. I don't know. Alright. So with all of this basically all obsolete here, I think. Yes, just science and military that we haven't set back up. And we're gonna have to just do that at some point. So let's tear basically this whole thing down. And fit more iron ore processing in here. So we get all that out. This belt of coal isn't the belt of coal that we use, so this can come out. And inventory space is still fine since we cleared it out. Alright, then all of these smelters have to go. And hopefully none of these power poles that we chop down here are like load bearing in some way. Alright, so we just need to basically clear all of that out. And then the coal patch is fine. So where's the iron actually going here? Alright, we need to... Yeah, let's also just... Oh, yeah, no, that one was load bearing. That one was load bearing for sure. So let's put you back in. And took out another load bearing power pole. So let's see, how does that connect back in? Something like that. And it's all working again. Alright, then we need to get rid of all of these random inserters. Alright, so all this goes out. And then we have the iron production, which we need to power back on, because that got cut at some point. Alright, so the iron production is back on. And we need to just work out what on earth is going on with all this junk. So we have this belt, which seemingly goes nowhere. Just goes there and stops. Then this main belt is like where all the stuff goes. So how about you just do that? And now you're in. And we're gonna need more. We're gonna need more mining drills. Get a whole bunch of those going. And then start popping them in. So you guys all go like that. And then we need to cover this space. Those can exist now. And we need to power all of these on. So something like that. Get all of those running. And then we can fit another row of mining drills in there. And power them on. And then finally we just have to cut that belt there. Connect those across into that whole thing again. And hopefully all of that additional iron will be somewhat beneficial. I think we aren't using both sides of the belt well enough. Also, I think I just saw some plates on there. How did those get in there? Probably just accidentally from some of these inserters. Probably just a weird inserter-related accident. Alright, so let's take this one and try to get it to go in the other side. So you go like that. And of course that power pole is important. Put it back in. Alright, now we should be hopefully doing better on filling both sides. I don't know. This whole situation is kind of a horrible nightmare. Yeah, let's just clear all of this random junk out, so just we have space to run ordinary belts that aren't this. Alright. And then this copper belt doesn't need to exist either. And alright, that should be enough space. So now we can just, I guess, merge these together like this. Should work. So you go like that, and like that. And then like this. Oh. Yeah, so if the belt just happens to go over something, then it becomes a problem. So we need to get all of that stuff out, and then hook that in. And I have no idea if that's actually enough. Actually, let's see, how much is this? This is 0.5 per second. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20 of these. So that's 10 per second. And the belts can handle 15 per second in theory. So that's probably fine. As long as those wires didn't wind up anywhere, that should be good. And now we're probably just going to need to expand this furnace array out more. So let's craft more of those. And another one. And another one. Then we bring that up. And we power. So those all go in, then these all go in. And we just need to power them up, like so. And what on earth? What is going on here? Alright, power poles are seemingly always in the way. Most of them aren't necessary, though, so we can just remove them. And then we just need to attach these back in, working around the power poles. And then that goes down there. And all those go in. And we should be good. How many is this? 0.62 per second each. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. That's going to be 22 times 0.62. So if we round down, that's 20 times 0.5, which is 10. So this should be capable of producing plenty of iron plates, hopefully. I don't know how the steel production is going to go, but it looks fine. I mean, we're not hardly using it for anything, so that makes sense. Alright, so now that we have a relatively decent supply of iron plates going through, that's nice. We can reset up science. So, red science is copper plates and iron gear wheels, which I think... Do we want to just build those down on this side of the belt, maybe? No, it's going to be easier off the top, I think. Also, we forgot to... Alright, yeah, so we forgot to bring the copper plates all the way along. So we need to just make that quick adjustment. And bring that along, so that's fine. Fortunately, did not cause that mistake to last too long. Alright, then we need to expand these belts out for the power poles to go on. And we're going to need some of these to go away because we need to draw the underground belt. Yeah, even that is too far. Which means that has to go like there, and then out like that. And then we just take our underground belts and fix all of these back in. And done. Alright, so that is good. Then we need to set up the science. So it's copper plates, which are just here, nice and easy, and iron gear wheels, which, let's see, we're going to need to cut that out so that it doesn't come out quite yet. And then do the same thing with that, actually. So the gear wheels go up there. The plates need to come out there and there. And then that can twist around like that to line up. And then all of that can just come forwards, like so. Alright, so now we get our assembling machines in, and we get one of each. So we need a longer one there. And then we need, what do we want to do with the output? I guess put it on the bus? No, let's just bring it up there, and we're going to do science. We're going to bring science to the labs in a different way. There's no real point putting it on the bus just for that. Alright, but you get to be automation science. You get to be automation science. And let's just get a couple of those in, just so that we have a lot. And then we need, obviously, to connect all of those up. And that's off center. And then all of those go in. And then power poles go in. And we copy and paste it across. And that is red science automated. Alright, we got an achievement for producing a bunch of iron plates. That's a good sign. So next we need to get transport belts and inserters. So we have transport belts there. The inserters never quite made it onto the bus, which is a problem. Hey, Factorio, yeah, we've started this up just recently, so I'm working along here. I have a bit of a main bus going, starting to work on science production, and I've been attacked by biters a couple times, but it's been weirdly suspiciously long since the biters have last attacked, and I'm getting nervous. Alright, so we need to... Yeah, because for whatever reason, I didn't end up putting the inserters onto the bus, which means now I need to get them... Oh wait, no, that was actually important, wasn't it? Doing that the way that I did that was actually, like, critical. Yeah, no, that's wrong. So we have to have that be on the correct side of the bus. Do you know how to check pollution output? I think so. It's like in here. It's this, but I don't really know what this means, so... So, yeah, I have this. I don't know how to read it. There's a map view of it that's better. Alright, we have this. Map view. Pollution. Aha! Found it. Alright, so that's what this is. Alright. Well, is this like when it reaches the nests, then that's what these are? Okay. That makes sense. Alright, figured out how to do that. That's cool. Means we are getting pretty close, though. So, I should probably do something about that. I have a box here with some ammunition, and then I have a box here with some gun turrets, which I should probably start using these to protect the bus. So let's get just a couple of these along. Big giant forest there, which don't know what the biters are going to do about that. I don't know what my gun turrets are going to do. How many days have you been at it? A couple? Like, maybe... I think this might be my third. So, you know, not hugely long, but not my first stream. Alright. I assume the gun turrets can't just shoot through trees. So we're just going to give you some ammo. Hopefully the biters are just really nice and come through that area. I suppose they're more likely to come over here since it's closer. Which I think I did set up. Yeah, we have that gun turret. Set up another one up here. Just to try to cut them off if they go towards the bus. You can always shoot at something behind something even if you aim at it, including trees. Oh, that's good to know. Okay, so people can't walk straight through trees, and biters can't walk straight through trees, but gun turrets can. That's good to know. Alright. Alright, that's handy. So back to factory building. So very, very basic preliminary defenses up there. And I guess since we can, we may as well just pop a turret in there as well. Give it some ammo. Alright, feeling very slightly better protected now. Alright, so we have the red science, and we need to get green science producing again. Oh. Man, that alert is it's a very sneaky alert. I think I had previously been attacked down here, so I did set up, like, some turrets with walls down here. Yeah, that looks fine. Ooh, oh, I think that was an older attack, I think, that got back there. These ones probably didn't get past the wall. Oh, I see a little red dot moving down there. That's fun. Alright. So these defenses seem to be defending, so that's nice. I don't have walls up here. I should get to automatically producing walls. That seems important. Alright. What was I doing? Science. Okay. Let's try to not get interrupted again. We have these, which I didn't put on the bus because I didn't think I'd need it, and then it turns out that I do. And in the meantime, these are supposed to do that in order to... Wait, no, not that. They're supposed to do the opposite of that. Mm-hmm. Okay. It's good to know. So I need this to... How did I do this? Like that? Yeah, so now they're on the right side of the belt. Alright, so then we just need to figure out how to get these back around to the main bus for more science production. So, it's a bit cramped in here. Yeah, I really don't like just how I did this in general. So let's just take that out. No, we should just probably tear this whole thing out and put them onto the main bus instead of trying to do this weird cheeky thing up here. Alright, so that goes down, and we're going to need to get it across all of these, which is obviously too far. So then we need this to... Is that even going to work? No, that's as far as it'll go. Okay. Which means... How do we do this? I guess we can just have it stop in the middle here. Underground belts are confusing to me. Alright, so that should work then. Alright, then that comes across there, and outputs to there, and then that is gonna have to just go to do that. Alright, we got those across. So now this can run along this way, and get rid of that rock that's in the way. Alright, so now that goes along there. And we need to then bring these up to make science. So this, first we're going to need to expand the bus out. So off we go. My poor belt supply. Also, this was supposed to be a splitter in here. I don't know how that ended up not being there. So that goes in, and then that comes across. Alright, so then we need to get those out. How did Foundry go? It was fun. We basically got to the point where I'd done all the interesting, unique things in the game, and it was just like building the same thing with slight variations left over, so I decided pretty much at a good stopping point. So we picked up Factorio instead. Alright, so then we need some space in there. And that goes across. That goes up. And this goes across like that. And we're going to need to probably stop in the middle like here. So we take those out. And then that goes up. And those go across. Alright, so that is that. Now we just need to get these up. So that can go in there, I guess. I kind of want to learn as I go. It's the fun part is figuring it out, you know. Just having everything be told to you is less interesting. Alright, so then that goes up. And I think that's that. Alright, so then we just have to, I guess we can do that, probably, just for simplicity's sake. That's something I could probably do on the bus as well, is I could probably condense all of, like, most of these, which are like half lanes, down into fewer belts. But at least having this way lets me expand them more easily, which I might be interested in doing at some point. Alright, so that goes up there. And all the inserters go in. And then this goes up. And we power it on. With what seems like there's gotta be a way better way of powering these than 500,000 small power poles, but here we are. Alright, then you get set to Logistics Science Pack, copy paste it across, and there we go. Oh. Another alert. Oh, it looks like they have gotten into the factory. That's not good. Alright. Off we go. What happened here? The south wall is breached. I don't think they breached it. I think they probably just went like 5 extra feet around it. Which is definitely a bit of a vulnerability of that system. Although they did take down the turrets. So I'm going to put those back. I'm not sure where they went. do you get half of a stack? There we go. Alright. How did they do that? Where did they destroy? It says they destroyed some furnaces, right? I don't see where the furnaces that they destroyed are. Well, clearly we're getting attacked more down here, so I should... Looks like a crushed furnace, but it's still there. Oh, that's it. Yeah, I see it. Okay. Slightly hard to tell at a glance. Technically, this whole section doesn't do anything anymore because, like, half of it was built directly on top of the iron patch, so I ended up just dismantling most of this and moving over to the bus. Yeah, I see that. So where did they go after that? They obviously got past the wall. Is there a way of just... Yes, Q lets you copy and paste. Alright, so clearly what we need is wider defenses so that they can't go as far. So let's put those in. See, this is why I shouldn't have dismantled the ammo production before I started new ammo production. Let's do that next. It's pretty easy, right? Firearm magazine is just iron plates. Yeah, let's set that automation back up again. So we're going to walk all the way up here. And just grab some iron plates and make some ammo with them. Probably just like 2 of these. Iron plates in. Ammunition out. Alright, so we need to drag that across just so that we don't accidentally cut it off. And this just has to go like that. And up there. Alright, we are just about producing ammo again. There we go. And I want you to just feed all of your production into a box, probably. So you can go like there. And, oh, we're being attacked again. Yeah. One entity is being damaged. It's the gun turret, which is definitely the thing that I want to be being damaged as opposed to a furnace or something. It looks like we were successful. Alright. Gun turret is damaged but intact. So yeah, this must be how they got past the wall. They came through the forest here. Speaking of walls, I guess I'll manually craft some. And yet another thing that I'm going to need to automate at some point. Aggressive buildings first and pollution buildings second. That makes sense. Oh, the power is being attacked. That also makes perfect sense, and I think it's completely defenseless because it was too far away. I didn't want to run all the way up there. Whoops. Alright. Let's see here. Yeah, that's a problem. Up we go. And... Alright. That's that problem solved. Now we just need to run that back. And let's see here, set up some turrets. This is obviously very important to defend. Alright. So we get what, probably just like something like that. Just have a couple overlapping turrets. And we're gonna have to come back to provide more ammo. I can take some of this. So you get some ammo. You get some ammo. And then we get over here, which is where the attack actually came from. You get some ammo, and you get some... Oh, that's not the second machine. This is the second machine. Alright. So that area is now at least somewhat defended. And we need to get walls automated and then get ammo, preferably automatically transported up there. Alright, so walls. How do you make walls? Stone bricks, which are just from cooking stone, right? Doing great for our first playthrough. Thank you for the follow, Moss. Appreciate it. Alright, so we need to smelt up some stone bricks, which I actually think we were somewhat doing. I don't remember if we got all the way to... Yeah, so we have a box of stone bricks. Now we need to start producing some walls, which we can just do over here, I guess. Oh, we're under attack again. It's just constant now. As long as it's just... Yeah, it looks like the gun turret was successful. Alright, so let's craft up some more assemblers. And then get back to work on this. Have you started going out to kill the nests? No, I have not. Probably gonna have to do that at some point. But yeah, for now I just need to have just like basic defenses so that the factory doesn't die while I'm building. Once you get the car, it's pretty easy. Alright, good to know. I do not currently have the car, but that'll be something that I work on at some point. Alright. Those are all powered up, and make some walls. Alright. Yeah, I think I had looked at, like, unlocking the engine, which I think unlocks the car, probably. Alright, so we have... walls are now automated and put into a box. And let's drop that down to a couple stacks. Alright. Now, did I ever finish the science over here? I think... Yeah, so I finished constructing the science, but I never quite got around to putting it in the labs. So I should do that. Just get a couple of these. And I guess probably just put them up here. But there's like a convenient thing you can do like that. I keep hitting the wrong button. I keep crafting more labs instead of placing the ones that I have. Alright, so we have some labs up there. We do something like that. And then the science can just go in. Wait, no, that's too close. Bad depth perception strikes again. Alright, then this can go in there. Very slightly cursed, but it's fine. Alright, then we just have to power all this up, which should be easy. Just smack a couple of these around. And done. Alright. And we're going to need to place a lot of these to get this going relatively quickly. And how does the spacing have to go? It's like that's the closest. That's going to be too close for the inserter. So I guess something like that. Boom, boom, boom. The most well-organized science research area ever. Just completely randomly in a weird L shape for no apparent reason. And I can fit in a couple more over here. Like so. And it does seem to be working. And we do that. And science is now sciencing. Looks like we're going to need... We might actually need fast inserters for this, although more likely is that we're going to run out of... science packs that we have stored up. Not need it. Alright. Oh, I did automatically queue up to do the engine next, actually. That's convenient, me of like half an hour ago when I did that. Alright, so then that's all set up. Very temporarily science production. And let's see here. What's the next thing we want to do? We could try working on... Alright, this doesn't need to be infinity stacks. This can be just... I don't know, that's probably enough? That's probably enough. Alright, so engine is researching, and it's going pretty quick with all this science. Although apparently the red science isn't getting put in fast enough. I wonder if I can accelerate that ever so slightly by putting another inserter there. This is a very, very silly setup that we have here. Yeah, I have no idea what's going on there, but it's probably working. Alright. So what is next on our list of things to do? Probably should get assembly machine 2 at some point. I have assembling machine 1s, just like manual crafting. So I'm going to need to automate them and then make machine 2s. Also, military science at some point might be helpful. That would require fancier ammunition, which seems difficult. Could also set up like a radar or something. Let's do that. Let's set up a radar, see what that's like. I think we're going to want to set it down here where the biters are attacking from in the south. I haven't really explored down there much. So if we just take you and pop you in there. Oh, hey, look, the biter attack. Yeah, okay, so the walls are somewhat working. I just jumped straight into a save, and I've gotten this far, so it seems to be working. All right, So the walls around the turret are more or less successful at keeping this area safe. Do want more of them, though, obviously. So let's head up here and grab some walls. Now we have tons of these. Ooh, engines are finished. And I guess we can unlock their car. That'll be fun. Actually, what does the engine do on its own? Anything? No, it just gives you a part. Alright. What was I doing? Right. I had grabbed walls and I was heading down to place them in strategic locations to keep the factory safe. Alright, so where are walls? I grabbed them, right? Yeah, there they are. Alright, can we put those on a hotbar? I don't know how to actually access the second hotbar. Like, there's gotta be some hotkey, right? But now we can just right-click like that. And alright, the gun turret is now completely enclosed. Now that we have plenty of walls, let's just expand these out. Just create sort of a proper perimeter across this entire thing. Of course, this is the middle of a giant forest, so I can't see what I'm doing. Alright, forest has been removed. Wall has been added. And then we can extend this wall out this way. And that's pretty good. And now, just in case, may as well, not short on walls, we may as well just expand this out to cover this gun turret as well. Something like that ought to do. And you're going to be completely enclosed since you're going to be sort of the edge. Alright, so something like that should help. Should help us in attacks from the south. And what else? We need more production of various things. I talked briefly about setting up automated assembling machine production. Guess we can do that now. Or alternatively, yeah, so we have these fast transport belts, right, which are twice as fast. I don't really think we need them at the moment. Like, maybe it would be useful for the iron plates, but not really even then. So I think we're just going to get assembling machines done. So 9 iron, so plates, gear wheels, electronic circuits. And I guess we're going to have to skip past this slightly cursed science area and chop down a bit of the forest. Alright. Alright, I did this again, where I just curved it around instead of remembering that it has to actually split. So let's make sure that goes in, and then that goes across. Alright, now we're going to need to restock on belts for the first time in a while. So we head back. Building buses is quite belt intensive, so it's not surprising. Let's grab all of those and head back. Alright, so we need to put this in somewhere like there. And we need 2 belts running across there, although we can actually optimize. No, we still need 2 belts because we need plates, gear wheels, and circuits. So the plates can be one, the gear wheels and the circuits can be the other, but we still are going to need 2 input belts and an output belt. Alright. The car has been researched. What else? Show only essential technologies. What does that do? Alright, yeah, don't know what that means. Let's unlock the railway, because rails are fun. Alright, so, first of all, drag the copper plate belt along, because it's obviously going to be in the way. Then, we need to get, I guess, just all of these along as well. Gosh, this is starting to get to the point of being a huge amount of belts. I should probably get to compressing these on the bus itself. So I'm still not 100% sure that that's what I want to do. Alright, so this has to come out the furthest back. Actually, I wonder if we can do this better by doing it from up there. And then, oh, that's not how I wanted that to go. That's completely wrong. Okay, no. Alright, so that is back to normal. I'm not used to belts just magically connecting across. So that goes across and is all good. And this is the wrong belt. This one is supposed to curve up. Alright, so then we need... gear wheels are the next one, right? Yes, gear wheels. So you need to split off... Let's see, how do we actually do that? So you would need to go something like there. So let's take all of that out. So gear wheels go there. That comes out and gets pushed back to there. Then that goes up. And that goes across. Alright, then we need to get the circuit boards out. And they can come out down here, I think. So just make some space there. And make sure not to cross the streams like that, which I keep doing accidentally, just constantly. Alright, so then that goes across. These gear wheels are going to need to get underground belted. Like that. And then we need this underground belt to go there. And then that. Alright, then this can do that. And then go in like that. And that is all of those inputs. So then we just do these. And do we need 2 long inserters? We might. I'm not sure how that works in this game. We need to figure out at some point. But it's not really a problem. We can just go there and there. And then you make more of your stuff. Just like that. Did I mess up? Plates, gear wheels, electronic circuits. Oh yeah, I put all these in backwards. That would do it. That would definitely do it. So you get to go in the right way, as do all of you. And we have that done. So then, what I really want to do then is add steel plates onto this to make assembly machine 2. We finished unlocking railway, that's good. Let's do fluid handling, I guess. That seems like it's going to be an important thing to unlock. Probably going to have to handle fluids at some point, right? Alright, so this is the same gear wheels and electronic circuits, but with steel plates as well. So we're going to have to head down here, drag this belt along, get rid of a random boulder, and keep going. Alright. Factorio fluids used to be harder than Satisfactory fluids until an update made it way simpler. Yikes. I can't imagine being harder than Satisfactory fluids. They are so confusing. Also, what have I done here? Does this not... Oh yeah, no, this is all wrong. Okay. The iron plates aren't connected properly. So the iron plates need to go like that, which, let's see, means the gear wheels need to go like that, and then the copper plates don't have enough range. Alright, so we can do that. And then you go up like that. And then that goes there. No, not facing like that. Then that goes in there. And we managed to fix it. Cool. So now we just need to bring the steel up. So this, it just goes like that. And that goes in. Yeah, that makes sense. You know, being fun is very important. Alright, so we have to take that out. And then that goes across. Then that can go across. Is this going to have enough reach? No. Which means we're going to need to take out a bit in there. And then that can go up. Alright. Fluid handling has been researched. We're in the phase of the game where we're unlocking more things than we can use. Concrete. Sure, that sounds fun. Alright, so that is all good. Alright, so it looks like we've managed to get the belt management right. So then what we need is, I think in this case, it does make sense for the assembly machines to go upwards, because they're just going directly into another production line for the fancier ones. Alright, but hang on, what we need is we need to fit all of these onto enough belts. which might actually be a concern. So what we need to do is fit both of these onto the same belt so that we have an output belt where the assembly machine 2s can go. So that is going to require how do we even do that? Okay, wait, I think I have an idea. We actually need this to be like that, and these have to go away and be long-handled inserters instead to put onto that one. Then the steel... Wait, no, that doesn't work either. Hang on. Okay, wait, no. I know what we have to do. So we have to put the steel in to just that side of the belt. And then those go into just that side of the belt. If I dismantle that, then it doesn't work anymore. Alright, I really wish I didn't need to have that in order for this system to work, but that's fine. Alright, so now we have all that. We can just dismantle this. And then those go in. So we run those belts up. Actually, the iron plates aren't needed there, which maybe makes this simpler. Or maybe not, I don't know. So then those go in. And then those go in, and boy, that is a lot of blinking yellow lights. Alright, so something like that. You make assembly machine 2, you make assembly machine 2. And actually that one can't be there, because we need to run the belt there. So where is that power pole gonna have to go? Do we have to go like there and there? Yeah, that works. Okay. And then that belt comes down. And like that. Are these... No gears. Oh yeah, we only have like 2 machines making gears. I should add more. We head back over here. Yeah, so this is obviously not enough. So let's... I don't have any assembly machine 2s yet, so we're just gonna add like another bunch of these. How can you not reach? It's like 5 inches away. Alright, then this all goes up and then comes back down, and they all just get sent across. And let's just span power lines everywhere. And that should help with the gear production. 3, 4, 5. So this winds up being like 5 a second, which is pretty good. Ooh, electricity consumption is in the yellow now. That is something that I should probably fix. Could try solar panels. That could be fun. Don't know. We don't have batteries or anything yet, though, so it might be a problem. Or we could just add more of these in. Let's try solar panels. I have a bunch of useless junk in my inventory anyway. Gotta clear out some space. Alright. Let's Let's also expand these out. So we have 3 boilers in there. Let's add another 3 boilers, and we have 6 steam turbines, so let's add another 6 of those. And alright, solar panels can just go in wherever, I guess. Just here. Alright, we got an achievement for it and everything. That's cool. Alright. We apparently are manual crafting a huge amount of stuff for all this, which isn't ideal. Can we head back here and just like grab some of that and then not have to manual craft it? Like if I grab that and alright, so that just cancels the solar panel production in general. I also still have a bunch of random ore in my inventory. Can I please get rid of any of this that is possible to get rid of? Inventory keeps clogging up with ore. So there we go. And we run over here and throw some of this iron away. Alright. That is an improvement at least. Get rid of some of the coal as well. Alright. And hopefully... yeah, that figures. I need to figure out how to get batteries. I wonder where that would be technologically. Probably... Can you search this? Batteries. Personal batteries. Batteries. Oh, it's like 1,000,000 miles away. Okay, good to know. Okay, well those are just going to be mostly decorative then. So let's see. We crafted some of these. So let's pop those in. And we are also going to need some pipes for this. Where are the pipes? There they are. I don't want to make 1,000 of them. What's the button? Control. What's the button that lets you make like 5 of them at a time? It's definitely not shift click. Determine that. Is it shift right click? No. Is it control click? Is it alt click? No, it's none of those. There's a button for it. I'm just gonna spam click for now. Alright, then all of those get hooked up. That comes down. Those go across and get powered up. Alright. And we put our turrets right in the way here, so that is going to have to go temporarily. 3, 4, 5, 6. And then we just bring the power along, like so. And the pipe along. Standing in the way of that one, apparently. Alright, power has been doubled once more. And then let's put that gun turret back, because that's probably important. Oh, speaking of which, the turret ran out of ammunition down in the south. That's probably not good. And a whole bunch of walls are getting attacked. So let's run back. I apparently need to grab some ammunition. And it seems like they got past the walls. Alright, down here. Alright, they seem to have left. That's fine. Put you back. You can have some of my own personal ammunition. Put the wall back. Put the wall back. Should have replaced the damaged walls. Alright, then we need to grab more ammunition so that that doesn't happen again. Where is our ammunition production? Over here. Alright. Ammunition should be just past the science. There it is. Alright. Let's just grab a whole bunch of that so that we don't have to worry about ever running out. Then we have this, which seems to still be struggling along with a lack of gears. So let's take some of these assembling machine Mark IIs and upgrade gear production with them. Alright, so we run all the way back here. And these all get upgraded. And there. That's like 50% faster, I think. Right? It says crafting speed 0.75 as opposed to crafting speed 0.5. Item ingredient shortage. Is the rotation speed 302 degrees per second? What does that mean? Does it mean we just need to use fast inserters then? Alright, let's, I guess, make a bunch of fast inserters. I haven't automated these yet. I should do that. So then these all go in. And congratulations, you're now nice and speedy. Man, they are zooming. And the gear production seems to be pretty good as a result. Yeah, it is very weird, like, you know, going from you know, 1.5 a second, and it's like having to work through my head, like, how much is that? That's like 90 a minute, right? It's pretty fast. I think the key is to just try not to compare them, just accept that the numbers are different. But yeah, it's definitely weird. All right, gear production is now moving along. And still apparently not very fast. Do we need even more? It's weird that the inserters calculate it in terms of like degrees of rotation per second. That's the weirdest part for me. Like 864 degrees a second. Like, what does that even mean? Like, I guess that's like 1.4. Because like 360 degrees a second would be one full rotation a second, right? So I guess that these are like just less than a rotation a second, and these are almost, but not. These are just like slightly more than 2. I guess. I don't know. That's the mysterious part to me. Like, how are you supposed to know? Just to make sure, let's get even a couple more of these in. And probably just 2 more will be good. We don't need that many gears. There's tech that allows your inserters to pick up or drop off more than one item at a time. Yeah, that makes sense, but then, like, couldn't you just update the tooltips, like, when you unlock that tech? Alright. Yeah, we need to automatically craft fast inserters, probably. Alright, there we go. And also this seems to be siphoning off way more of our iron now. Alright. Gear production is now going burr. And that should be good. So it's, hopefully we can now just upgrade like all of this with the faster assemblers. Oh, under attack again. Just hitting the walls, that's probably fine. I'm not going to run all the way across the map for every single attack now that we have defenses. Yeah, looks like the turrets have it covered. And now we have a nice box that we can fill up with Assembler Mark IIs and never have to use Assembler Mark Is again. Probably. Yeah, these look... Okay, it's technically more power consumption, right? Because this is twice as much power consumption for only 50% more speed. But it's actually less pollution, which is fun. That's weird. Why is that less pollution? Who knows? But as long as power isn't the concern, then that's probably fine. Alright, so what is next? Oh, we unlocked concrete. That's fun. Let's unlock oil gathering next. That seems like that's probably an important technology. Alright. So next up, we want to automate fast inserters and use those instead of regular inserters, I guess. So let's just get plates, electronic circuits, and inserters. So we get the inserters. Actually, how do you craft an inserter? Do we have already... We already have plates and electronic circuits. Alright. So we don't actually need to do that. We can just get that back here. Oh, we actually stopped producing long-handled inserters because of this whole situation. Yeah, okay. So what we need to do is I do have an idea for this. So if we take this apart and we run it up north and then we don't... Alright, you go away for now. Don't like that. So we need to do that whole thing with the switching them around so that they connect into the other side. So like that will work. Alright, so now they're on that side. And that, I guess, has to go up there, because that's a curve now. Alright, then we need to make the fast inserters, so let's chop down some more innocent trees, clear some space, and get another one of these in. Let's leave some space just so that if we need to do anything, we have that space. Then this all comes up. You get set to fast inserters, and you grab the regular inserters, grab the plates, you grab the circuit boards, and then we power you on. And let's just output into a box, I guess, for now. We have the box going. And then we need to get these out onto a belt somewhere, somehow. which, let's see, we can be very creative, I guess, and convert these two into a single belt up here and then put them out that way, and then do something with them from there. Might be faster just to not worry about that for now. Just have inserters be this whole thing up here. But we probably should for the long term. Alright, so we need to cut this stuff out up here. And we need... Actually, no, we need that to go like that. That to curve into it. And then take that out. And that curves along like that. And you get in. And then you get outputted there. Alright. So that's a success. Circuit boards look like they are potentially having problems. We have assembly machine 2s now, so we may as well use them. So you all get upgraded. Then we're going to have to head over and pick up some more and upgrade them again. And hopefully we have enough by now that we can just... Yeah, so now we can... What is it? Middle click to clear that shortcut. Put assembly machine 2s in. And now, whenever we need to, like red science apparently, we can just put those upgrades in, and now it'll be faster. Alright, so those all get upgraded. And we're going to need to do the same thing with wire. So these upgrades all go in. Okay, we finished another research. Always a good sign. Now let's take... I don't know, let's take projectile damage. Just because that's going to improve stuff that we already have, which is quite nice. Okay, the other thing is we probably want faster belts at some point, so just add gear wheels to transport belts. So yeah, we just add gear wheels onto the belts again, and then we can upgrade them. Where did I have the belt production? Oh, here's the splitter production. So I can just do that real quick, because that's here. And this requires gear wheels and electronic circuits, but the basic splitter doesn't require gear wheels. Which I thought I had checked and that wasn't a thing that happened. So that's a little bit annoying. Also, looks like we're low on iron plates again. Production seems fast. I guess we just use a lot. Alright. Back over to here. So we need to get gear wheels in here. And I guess we could just... The easiest way would be to just produce them on site, right? Just go there. And you get gear wheels because it's going to be easier than doing it a different way. And then power goes in. Alright, then we actually need to be careful of this because this is going to be in the way slightly. So we have our gear wheel production. We need... Okay, so this is actually on the close belt, which is very convenient. No, not like that. No, okay, yeah, so that happens. It is very fragile and annoying. It has to be exactly like that in order to work properly. So then, I guess we just need to duck under it here. And is this fine? Yeah, they're just attacking walls, and it's been dealt with. We're going to have to run down there and repair those walls at some point soon. Alright, so then we actually need to get a better way of chopping down all these trees. I think like explosives or something work. Alright, so we actually need to take those out and move them up here, just so that we're not in the way of that underground belt situation. So those all run up. And then we get those. Shotgun isn't bad for destroying trees. Alright, that's good to know. That is good to know. Let's see here. Yeah, that's not terrible. Alright. So we have to bring the power along like that. So now we have gear wheels, circuits, and belts, right? Gear wheels, circuits. Oh, we need splitters. Better than individually mining them? Yeah, probably. Probably better than individually mining them. Alright, so we have gear wheels there, we have circuits there. We have splitters on this one. So we need this one to come up. And that's just... yeah, no, this is much nicer. It's not going to clog up my inventory either. Although I am going to need to craft some shotgun shells. Alright, so that belt doesn't need to go there, so then this can take its place as the near one there. And then those go in. And now we can just hook all of these up. Get the long ones in as well. And the output belt. Which way do I want this to go? Probably continue up like we've been doing it here. The important thing is that it does go onto a belt somewhere. I can figure out the exact details of that later. And then this is fast splitters and fast splitters. Which... is it working? Probably, yes. It's working. And it outputs it onto the belt that I wanted it to. Alright, so now we can just send those into a box. And we're not going to need more than a couple stacks of that. Actually, should probably... oh, another attack. Should probably just bring these down. Alright, the belts are doing some shenanigans with underground belts to get around trees that I should probably just blow up, but just got to get this into a box that is actually closer to where I'm going to physically be, as opposed to just like halfway into the woods somewhere. Alright, there we go, and that should be fine then. So that is the fast splitters. Now we just need to get belts. and that is just gear wheels and transport belts, which conveniently we already have. So these just go in there and make fast transport belts. Alright, then that goes across. This doesn't need to come all the way up. So these gear wheels can sneak in and be the close one. And those transport belts go along. Then those get inputs. Those get inputs. Oh. Okay, that's not what I wanted to do. But it's fine. So then that will be the output. And now we just have to power all of this on. And this belt also needs an output. Alright, and now we have fast transport belts, which conveniently we've just about gotten to the point where we need a restock on regular transport belts. So then we just stick them in a box. And we want to store a reasonably good number of them, because they get used a lot, obviously. Alright, so those are all going now. We need the underground belts. So let's get some of these guys in. Finish that upgrade. And let's unlock... Oh, we have to actually mine crude oil for that. Alright, let's get automated rail transportation up next then. Alright, so then this is going to be the underground belts. And it's going to need gears and regular underground belts, which we've just barely run out of normal speed belts. So let's grab some fast belts and start using them. Alright, very normal stuff there. We need to... Is that true? Do we need to pull these in closer? No, we could just use the long belts here and not have to worry about that. So those go in. Then those go up. And those... Alright. We need more power poles. Where are the power pole supplies? Over here. Just classic single machine. Give us a batch of 50, and that should last us a good while. So now we walk over here and power those up. Okay. 14 walls are being damaged. I should probably head down there and check. I have walls, I have ammunition, and I have turrets. It's been a while since I've headed down here to check. Probably going to need to replace some stuff. Okay, these walls look mostly fine. This corner is a bit beat up. Looks like they're mostly diving into this one. It's almost out of ammo, but we're going to give it plenty of ammo. And you're doing fine. May as well restock you. Not like I'm doing anything better with all this ammo. Alright, so that is that. Now we can head back. And things are going just fine down there. The production speed up here is not exactly incredible, but it should be good enough. Alright, so now we run these belts along, and these need to output onto them. And short on gear wheels. Yeah, isn't everything. Alright, so let's see, where were those? Let's manual craft a bunch more of them, I guess. Alright, so we definitely need to improve gear wheel production quite badly, apparently. Alright, so that is close enough to be convenient. Now we can put those into a box there. And the reason gear wheel production is bad is because of iron plate production, not the gear wheels themselves that are the problem. So we need more iron plates. Is there like a fancy upgraded furnace that we can get? No, still just the steel furnaces. Require me to grab stone bricks from somewhere. Let's head up here. Grab a stack of those. Alright, is this even... So these ones in the far back aren't getting enough iron ore. So the iron ore is the limiting factor here. This is apparently not quite a full belt. So we can fit a couple more miners in. Not that many more though, and we are going to need to upgrade all of these to faster belts, I guess. And yeah, under attack still, as always. Alright, so we take that power pole down, and that lets us fit some more of these guys in. And then power them up. Okay, actually that middle one is apparently going to be hard to reach. The big electrical poles, what are they like? Okay, they're like a 2x2, and they... So yeah, that's not what I need here. I figured that would be some weird special thing. The medium ones, though, should be fine. It's annoying that I just can barely not quite reach up there. Okay, I have an idea to fix it, though. So we can put these like that. And now that power pole turns on all of those. And then get rid of that random belt that leads nowhere. Get more miners. And got some more space up here that we can fill in. So those go in. And we can get these in as well. So power all of these guys up. So squeezing those around. And then send them in. Oh, this bottom one needs a belt. It can get the only fast belt in this entire area for no particular reason. So hopefully... I mean, this still isn't like the most 100% efficient coverage possible, which is a bit of a shame. But I think probably it might be belt speed limits that are the main obstacle soon, which should be fine. Alright, so now all of these are running, which is great. So we can put a couple more of them in, just to be sure that we're handling as much as possible. And man, manual crafting. We really should have automated those at some point. Also, we're in this weird middle ground where we don't quite have enough Mark II belts to do everything with, but we also don't have enough Mark I belts because we were trying to replace them. So let's put all those in. And then those. Step a little closer for that one. And get those in. Alright. How is our belt production going? We have another 90 regular belts and 6 underground belts. Yikes. Not ideal. So we obviously can restock with several hundred regular belts now if we needed to. I'd really rather not, though. Looks like things are catching up again, though. You know, sometimes the best thing is to just let everything saturate a little bit. All right. So what's going on over here that's using all of the plates? Nothing? Yeah, it was the ammo, I guess, but we're not using that anymore, so it's fine. So that's good. Looks like this should be just about solved. And then the copper production is also not incredible. How do we fix that? Yeah, a lot of our copper ore mining is just... This whole thing is just off of these 3. Let's get a couple more in. Oh, wrong button. T instead of R. So we can just feed a couple more miners to make sure we don't run out of copper. And that should be fine-ish for now. Not powered up. There we go. So that's increased, which is always a good sign. That's going along nicely. We're making so many gears. But it looks like it might... Yeah, all the gears are going up this way. And it doesn't seem to be backlogging much up there. Let's make sure to set in the limits there so that we don't make a million underground belts. But I think the upgrade there is mostly going well. Alright, this didn't get powered. Let's get those in. Alright. That is even better. Probably gonna have to upgrade the belts here to Mark II belts at some point. At least for the ore, maybe not the plates. Although we really do use so many plates. Most of the plates are going into the gears. Some of them are going into like basically every other single thing that we have. Alright, so that is good. Oh, I haven't been looking at these tips and tricks. Stack transfers. Oh, I was wondering about this earlier. Right click. Alright, that's not really what I was interested in. Bulk crafting? Right click to craft 5. Okay, so it's just regular right click, not shift right click. Electric pole connections. Yeah, we know that one. Copy paste filters. Already knew about that. trains. Alright, well that's incredibly vague. But fine. New tip. Did I just see this? Control left click to take items from it. Control left click while holding an item to put it into the selected entity. Neat. Why am I zoomed out so much? Zoom in a bit more. I need to be able to see what I'm doing. Something like that should be good. Alright, the new tip thing can go away now. I don't want you. Alright, so this is working pretty well. So what is next? I guess. So the next thing would either be oil or either oil or some military stuff. Like if we automate grenades and piercing rounds, then we can get military science and start making sure that we don't die. I think let's do oil next. Do we have... How do you even tell? Turret coverage. Actually, this is a good thing to click. Not terrible. Could be a lot better. There are all these nests down there. And a couple nests up there. Pipeline, logistics networks. Alright, so I need to figure out where oil is. So that's iron. That's even more. That's a lot of iron. That's the stone. Alright, so the crude oil is like this little pink dot thing over there. Do I see any of those anywhere more convenient? There's this one, which is up by my other fluid stuff. That's probably fine. I mean, there's not too far from biters, but we can deal with that. So how do we do that? We're going to need an engine unit for a pump. A pump jack, though, we can just craft one of those. What does a pump do? No idea. Alright, so we can craft a pump jack to get some oil. We should though automate pipes, just because it's just iron plates, and if we're going to be starting to work with oil, it's going to be a very essential basic thing to have automated probably. So that goes up. We're going to need to actually do the upgrades at some point, but for now we're just using the new belts just as if they were the old belts. Alright, so then that goes out, and yeah, we don't even have enough of those to just use realistically, especially not for situations like this where we're not actually getting red belt worth of value out of this. Let's just do this. Tell you to make pipes. Paste that across. Bring that back down. And then set these up. Alright. Just attacking the walls still. Fighters seem to be not horribly successful at getting through with those walls, which is obviously good for me. Alright, so now we have automated pipe production. So you should probably let that cook for a little while before we run out and set up. I need to set the limits on this. Set it to 2 stacks. Did I do this? Yes, I did. Alright, so we have automated pipe production. That's good. What next would we want? Engine units. It seems like a couple things we want to use engine units. Oh boy, we got an achievement for producing electronic circuits. So engine unit is steel plates, iron gear wheels, and pipes. Alright, well, let's make those then. We're going to need them at some point. And we have just made the pipes. So we are going to need to bring this... We're going to need to bring all this across. So these belts all go forwards. And we also need to come down here. And it's technically possible that we might need these at some point in the future. I'm a bit skeptical, but we can probably drop them actually, and just add them back on later if we need to. That shouldn't be terribly hard. Let's grab some belts, grab some of those, and then now we swap over to using them, and swap over to using those as well. And where are these? Yeah, okay, so we need to not go crazy producing those because they're quite expensive. But we have enough now that we can just do this for this. Alright, so what were we doing? We were adding pipes onto the bus. Alright, so we're going to need some space down there. I still haven't quite managed to work out how much space that these actually need. Like, I guess that works. And then those just go across. And then that is onto the bus. Alright, so now that it's on the bus, we're not going to use it on the bus. We're just going to grab steel plates and gear wheels off of the bus and then use them up here. So let's drag all this across. And we have another attack. Also, I messed this one up again. I don't know why I keep doing that. It's the same mistake every time. So that has to go down. And then that has to go across like that. And then we do that. Where's copper? Did copper get disrupted at some point? Yes, it did. Alright, so that has to just go back in like that. And, alright. So that's fixed. So we need to get the plates up. Which means clearing a good amount of space here. And actually that has to not come out yet. So that goes in. And then that has to not come out yet. Then you go up and under and all the way across there. Do these go farther than the tier 1? Feels like they do. Not going to complain about that. Seems handy if it's true. Alright, so then those just go across like so. And that is the steel plates. We need to actually put that in and grab these out. Actually, just wrap them around like that, I guess. Just because of the way that these have been placed. Alright, and then we just need the iron gear wheels, right? Yep, just regular old iron gear wheels. Alright, so those... So this can then go in there. That can come out. We need that to sneak across over there. Then the gear wheels go in. And Up here, they can just do that. Alright, then we have these, which make the engines. And just going to have 2 of these for now. We might need to expand it, or this might be overkill. Who knows? Alright, another attack. So then this all gets powered up. And I'm noticing a startling lack of gears because I messed the connection up. How did I mess that up? Alright, so we just put that in. And oh, I guess it has to be the same speed on both sides. There we go. Gear wheels have now been properly connected across. And up they go, making some engine units. Alright, so now we have those. So now we should be able to craft something cool, potentially. Like, I don't know what a pump is cool, but sure. And let's see, none of those require engine units. What did I need these for? Was it just for the sake of automating something because it'd probably be useful in the future? I think probably. Oh, we can get trains with it. That's handy. Alright, then let's grab some pipes out of the old box. And I believe the technology will unlock when I mine the oil. So let's head up there and see what happens. Just trekking through a forest real quick. And we're here. Alright, you are low on ammo. Good timing by me. You're also low on ammo. Jeez. This place has apparently been attacked a couple of times. Let's give you some walls then. Just basic stuff there. Make sure that they can't just instantly run up on you. You are also short on ammo. I think that's just because I never gave you any. So there you go. Have some ammo. And since you're completely alone, have some walls too. And yeah, this can have some walls protecting it as well. Something like that. Alright, getting another attack down on the south side. That's probably fine. Now we should just ignore it and drag power up to this oil patch. Alright. Map says it's somewhere in here. I don't see it. Let's see. What was the... Somewhere in here, then I should just blow up this forest. Ah, there it is. Crude oil. So, we put a pump jack on it, and outputs to the north. Then we have to bring the power down to it. And we have unlocked that technology, which unlocks oil refinery and chemical plants. But what can we do in those? We can do basic oil processing and solid fuel from petroleum gas. Alright. I guess solid fuel, let's see, burnable fuel value 12 megajoules. coal is 4. Alright, I guess that makes sense. So we can probably power our boilers with that. Alright, now as for the actual machines, how does this work? So we just like make one of each, see what happens. Alright, so we need to just get this out into the open where I can see it. And then we're probably going to have to defend this. Alright, so we have oil refinery. Oh, these are big. Alright, so you are going to have to go like up there so that nothing is in the way of anything. And you can take crude oil and make petroleum gas. Sure, that seems handy. So then in you go. And then you output petroleum gas. And then if we have a chemical plant, then we can make solid fuel from petroleum gas, which we can then just extract onto a belt and get a power line over there. I feel like I'm more zoomed in than I normally am. Alright, now we have solid fuel. And is crude oil infinite? Looks infinite. Doesn't say anywhere, there's only 5 of this. So that's handy. We can replace the coal with that, and our thing won't run out of power. So let's, I guess, see how much does this do. 1 a second, 20 a second to 1 a second, and that goes 20 a second to 9 a second, and this outputs 8 a second. Alright, so we're not getting a huge amount there then. That's fine though. So this should just be all the machine that I need for this then, I guess. I don't know. Is this even worth it? Probably not. It's very far. Let's check the tech tree and see what else we can do with oil now that we've unlocked that. We can do flammables, which unlocks apparently all sorts of fun stuff. Did we unlock anything else? Sulfur processing is something that we unlocked with that. This automated rail transportation is apparently very slow. And then fluid wagons and plastics. Alright, there's all sorts of stuff there. There's all sorts of stuff there. For now we have, I guess we have this. Yeah, so that's a thing, I guess. We should probably defend it. Just like, it's not a super extensive factory and it's not really contributing to anything, but it is right by the biter nest, so give you a turret or two and give you some ammo. And then just very quick walls around the turret boxes. So that will help hopefully just protect that a little bit, and I don't expect it to get attacked too much since it's probably not going to be running for very long. Go down. Oh no, I think I see some red stuff on the map where there's not supposed to be red stuff. Yep. Alright, I think the factory might be dead. Run. They came in from a weird angle this time, I guess. And now they're ripping, tearing through everything. Alright, where are you? Yeah, that's not good. Please go away. Is the shotgun more effective? Alright. Well, that's not good. What was this? This was my steel production. And they just came straight north from that nest down there. Yikes. Okay, well we're gonna need to fix that. So let's just craft up a couple of steel furnaces. And thank you, biters, for revealing another weak point to me. So now we know about that. We can fix it. Give me some of those. Make some more furnaces. And we're just going to need to put some defenses from that angle. Alright, and then the rest of those managed to stay intact. Alright, and then they didn't destroy too much of that. Alright, so we can get the belts back in. And technically be upgrading them as we do. Then we get these back in. Goodness gracious. Alright. Need to be more thorough with my defenses. That is something important that we've learned. Okay, now those have to be outputs. And then we need power. Connect that whole thing up. That whole thing got disconnected. And then seem to be running again, although don't quite have good power coverage everywhere. Alright, is that everything repaired? I think that is that. Looks like that's all up and running, and then we're going to need... I think it would be better if we just... because this is going to be like the main southern defensive line down here. So may as well just expand that along. And we need to pick up more building materials, so more ammo, and more walls. So let's head over here and grab some ammunition. Grab a whole bunch of that. Sorry to my iron plates. We're going to need to use a whole bunch of those restocking that. And then we need to head up here to grab walls as well. Alright. So here we go. And grab me some walls. Alright, now back down to build this defensive line. And we should probably just build it all the way along the entire bus. Alright, and these walls that I just built 5 seconds ago have apparently already taken damage somehow. Don't know how that happened. But we are just going to have to build this along, and then alright, let's get rid of some of these trees. trees dealt with. At least somewhat. There really are a lot of them, though. Alright, that should be... No, I don't want it to zigzag like that. Yeah, the portion of the wall that I just built is already under attack. Okay, now they're all attacking me. That's not good. Alright. Successful defense. Didn't die. We need turrets here. So you can get those 2 turrets. And give you both some ammo. And then we need to repair these walls because they've already been whittled away. Alright, so we have those turrets. We're going to need pretty good coverage down here. So let's grab more. And just something like that. And then let's get through more of these trees. And finish this wall up. Should be long enough, at least for now. So now we just need to defend it, which is going to be turrets and another turret in there. So you get ammo and you get ammo, and make the wall curve at least a little bit. Give this one a bit of a box just in case they try any funny business. Flanking maneuvers. Alright, then you get some ammo, running low again. And I'm really gonna want to just automatically feed ammo across this. Alright, if I check... What was... One of these was turret coverage, right? Yeah, so we technically have a bit of a gap right around here. That could potentially cause problems, so we're just going to pop you in, give you some ammo, and now we should be a lot more safe from attacks from the south. Also, I've just realized I've placed myself on the other side of the wall. Let's just pop through. Did I ever unlock gates? Also, has science production stopped? It feels like science production has stopped. It feels like automated rail transportation has been on 43% for ages. What is going on here? Yeah, we have no green science. So green science was these. Did those get disconnected somehow? Yes, they did. Right. I remember what I was in the middle of doing and then immediately got distracted and never finished. So this needs to come down here. And then across there. And then keep going along like this. And in. Alright, so that should turn green science production back on. Bit of a whoopsie there. Gotta be very careful to not accidentally break your belts. And so that should provide that again. There we go. Pretty quick belts, honestly. And then they go north, and all good. So now we can get back to doing science. I was wondering why that was taking so long. It's because it wasn't working at all. And now we're probably going to have more ore-related problems. I wonder if I can solve those just by upgrading these to faster belts. Probably at least a little bit. Probably won't hurt. Let's grab a whole bunch of those. And a solid chunk of those. Alright, so if you were just all... So this was something that was nice about Foundry, is that you could just click on a belt and replace the entire line. Alright. We got a new tip. Z to drop items. Handy. Alright. We're just probably never going to use that. Under attack again. It's just walls. Alright, so we just have to bring this upgrade all the way back here. You can get to that point later in the game where things start replacing for you. That's handy. Alright. So then this has to upgrade that. And there's so many of these weird... This whole belt is just this weird mess. Because when I was building it, there was like stuff there. Let's just tear this apart and build it correctly. So we just take that out, and you run along, and there we go. Alright, so then we have to just keep upgrading, and at least back to those splitters, right? Because these are not obviously having problems. Like this one might be a little bit. So that ought to be an improvement. Hard to say how much it's an improvement by. It's difficult to say how overfilled they were. But it is definitely an improvement. And then it looks like we might have to... Yeah, output full. So we're going to have to do the same here. So if we just take these belts and just start running along there. And obviously that's not going to do anything just yet. Alright, more attacks. They're still in areas that I have fortified, so they're probably fine. Yeah, that all looks fine. Alright, so that is upgraded. Now we need to get that upgraded. And that. And then, oh, I just placed those the wrong way. So then we just do that. And get that in. Alright, so that is already helpful. So just, we have to get these up to all of these splits. And keep on going. Then we get into this fun part where we have to go that and there and there. Alright. That should be, I mean, realistically, probably good enough at that point. Like, we've gotten past a bunch of the splits where stuff is getting used. Let's just run it all the way along just to be sure, but probably not strictly necessary at this point. So then that has to be upgraded. And all those. And actually, does that do anything that I want? No, that does the opposite of what I want. Alright, so that just keeps going across. And obviously all the side ones don't really need fast belts, but the main line does. So there we go. There's all those underground belts. Then we get these ones. They all go across. Alright, almost at the front. None of this stuff is even moving anyways. But at some point in the future it will. Also, why does placing the underground belt just immediately spin your rotation around? Alright, there we go. And we also finished automated rail transportation. That's cool. So I guess the next thing will be plastics, because plastics are probably useful for something. And then, let's see, we've upgraded the iron line all the way up. So that's handy. It seems like it's going just fine. Alright, what else is there? Alright, weird. It's weird that it seems unbalanced like that. Where, like, that side is filled and the other side isn't. Probably just because of the order in which it takes stuff off the belts. Yeah, who knows. Alright, well, that is good. What else is there to do? So we have a lot of this stuff automated. We could get trains set up. I don't know what I want to do with trains. We could make a car. That could be fun. We could get in a car and go exploring. I have the engines built somewhere over here. Alright. And I never put them into a box. Also, my inventory is almost full, so I should fix that. Let's see here. Some of these are going to need iron plates, so I can just feed all of that in. And I'm going to need some of those, and I can get rid of that stack without causing problems. These are going to need iron plates, which I can throw away. These are going to need copper plates, which I can throw away. So there you go. Clearing out the old inventory. Then these need iron plates, which I can get rid of here. And I want to leave some iron plates, obviously, because they're useful for crafting. So then the other thing I want to get out of my inventory is copper plates, which can go into these wires. So those all go away. And, alright, inventory management, doing much better. I don't need all these Mark 1 belts, so I guess I can throw them into these, right? These are the ones that use them. You, and you, and you. Save on some resources that way. And then what else? We have all this iron ore, which I should get back to the smelter for. So then we just throw all of these in. And get that out of the way. Alright, inventory management success. Now let's craft a car. Alright, so we have a car. Where is it? There it is. We can place it. And I guess we have to fuel it up. Oh, and it has a machine gun in it. That's handy. So let's grab just some coal off of this belt. Throw some coal in there. Do I have spare ammo? Not hugely, but I have some. There you go. Enter the vehicle using enter. And we're off running into trees, apparently. Alright. I've realized a problem, which is I've built a whole giant wall in front of where I want to be going. Alright, so let's turn around this way. God, controlling this is like almost intuitive, but then just slightly weird. Alright, how much fuel is it using? Do I have gates yet? Who knows? Did I unlock that? No, I could have unlocked it by now, but I chose not to. So, we are, I guess, just going to go with the old-fashioned gate, which is pick up the car, we walk through the wall, we place it behind us because this is like an active combat zone, and we rebuild the car, refill it, rearm it, and off we go. So let's check out this little biter's nest. This one looks kind of small, right? I'm sure it'll be fine. Zoom out for more situational awareness. Oh no, that's bad. Okay. Ooh, machine gun is effective though. Well, that was fun. That was quite fun. Alright, we ran into a random rock. Now we need to... Okay. Okay. This seems more difficult than I was anticipating. I think we're going to retreat. Back to the walls. And we should be fine out here. Machine guns, please help me. Machine guns, please help me. Alright, I guess I was out of their range. Let's go over here, where we are safe. Alright, so we get out. We dismantle. Go through the walls. Done. Alright, well that expedition was a bit of a failure. If I were a highly skilled combatant, I probably could have managed something with that, but we're gonna have to figure out how to do that better. Ooh, they got through the walls. That's no good. I have to head over here and replace those walls. Replace some of these other ones that are looking damaged. Alright, then this wall is also not doing great, so let's replace that. The gun itself is taking a lot of damage, but it should be fine. I think I might want to give it some support. So let's get a second gun in here. Just because obviously this is a intense combat zone. So there you go. So now even if they get one, there'll be a second. Alright, then while we're in the spirit of replacing walls, may as well get some of these, which have been quite damaged. And there was like a repair pack thing that you can make, right? Somewhere in here? Yes, gear wheels and circuits. So yeah, we just take those and should be able to use that to repair the car. Alright, so let's set up the repair packs, get a couple of those, fix up our car, and then go out for another drive. Also, is science still going? Science is still going. Plastics is just a bit slow, I guess. I was hoping I'd be able to have gates by now, but that's fine. Alright, so we get some of those in. And what is all this? Oh, this is all fluid shenanigans. Okay, that makes sense. Don't need to worry about that. Instead, I need to make repair packs. So that is gear wheels and circuits. So we just have to run these all along. So those go along. And then this has to get under that, which is easy enough. Although apparently they didn't connect up properly. So that has to connect up to that to get the copper going through. Alright, so that should be... we should be able to compress that so that that works. So take some of those out. Then this goes in. Then we take some of those out. But we have to be careful with those. And then these just go up like that. And take some of the random junk off of the belt. And connect it up. Then we take this across so that the copper is all situated, and have to do the same thing down here to clear out that belt. And then what was the other one? Circuit boards. Alright, let's get some circuit boards. So we just take that out. Pop that in. Make sure to send the wires across. And that has to go underground there. And then the circuit boards can just go up there. No, not quite. Alright, so we need this to operate a little bit more weirdly. So this has to go over there. And then that can go in there and out there. And then that goes in there. And oh, the power grid seems to have potentially failed. Yeah, the power grid seems to have failed. That's not good. Did I like accidentally disconnect a coal belt that was necessary or something? Or are we just like out of coal, or like what's going on there? Or did a biter get through? A biter might have gotten through, I guess. No, this whole belt just doesn't have any coal on it. Why? Where is this belt coming from? Alright, I don't see why these would be out of not producing any coal. have coal? Yeah, I have some coal in my inventory. I guess maybe the coal just all got prioritized to other things. So we can set this, right? So we can set this output priority to right. Because I think what happened, I guess, is that all the coal got sent over that way and not enough coal got sent up this way. That's weird. Feels like that shouldn't have happened that way, but... Alright, you get some coal. And 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 we do have these solar panels, which is nice. Do I have more of these? Let's put a couple more of those in. It is daytime after all, so we may as well. And they're not anywhere near what these are producing. Alright, we do have coal coming through. So it was just a weird prioritization thing, I guess. Yeah. Okay. So now I've had it... Oh, do they not work like satisfactory splitters? Because satisfactory splitters, once one side is filled, the other side would just get all of it. So okay, so it must just be then, because it must just be the steel was using a lot. Or something like that. And, alright. There's still, like, suspiciously little coming out of here. There's low power. Why are they low power? Shouldn't this... Seems like it might be a bit of a problem. Let's see here. How can we fix this? I guess with burner mining drills, we can set these up. So let's see here. Where's the space for this? Where are all these belts? Because this belt is, I think, like, was at one point transporting science across. We don't need that to exist. Need to get rid of that. Alright. No, it looks like it has jump-started. I'm still going to increase coal production here. So that, and that, and then these all go in. And then belt those across and power it all up. Alright, so that should increase coal production by a lot if we weren't in this weird cycle of running out of power and then the coal makes it over and then we get more power. Yeah, I'm gonna set up just like a couple of burner miners, I guess. Just so that if nothing else, we have something producing coal. And those can just be like there and there, I guess. And we can use all this random wood that I have lying around. So that should help keep that at least somewhat stable. And then there was that oil-based power stuff that we had up here that I briefly considered doing, but then decided not to. I could grab a bunch of belts and then hook that up, because I think that is, at least not for now, it's not being used for anything else, and it's infinite. So let's grab a bunch of belts. We're going to need a lot of belts to bring that back, but should be worth it. There we go. Grab all of those. And I mean, hopefully this just starts back up again in the meantime. We are sending coal up there, which should be powering the coal miners to provide more coal. Hopefully. Might be better during daytime than nighttime because of the 4 solar panels I have. Yeah, let's head up here, and we have this belt. Let's bring some fuel over. And down we go. And where do we need to get this to? We need to get this to over there, basically. Alright, so let's just bring this along here. And we need to go a bit further down, and then I think we can probably just like connect these into that. It's a bit weird to have a mixed belt like that, but it's probably fine. I guess we could ensure that it's fine by just making sure that they go on different sides of the belt. So where did that stuff go? I saw it like 5 seconds ago. Now it seems... Oh, it's just very hard to see on the belt. That's why. Alright, so now that is going and seems to be providing power. So another incredible victory. We have saved the power grid from certain destruction by doing whatever this is. Probably should have done that when we first unlocked it. Seems like a bit of a no-brainer. Now let's just head back and see if there's any more we can do up here. This is not a huge amount of this solid fuel or whatever. What is it? What's it even called? Solid, yeah, just solid fuel. I think I remember there being another one in here. When I look at the map, oh, what? Yeah, there's a second node up here, which I cannot find because it's in the middle of this stupid forest. It should be right here. If I zoom in more, can I find it? Oh, is the other one even further north? I'm trying to figure out where this is. So right now I am directly next to the bottom one. The top one is up here. Is it like behind? Oh, it was behind that tree. Alright, that's funny. So we need to get another pump jack. Where are those? There they are. So we just need to get another pump jack and stick that in. So that can go into the same pipe. So now we have 11 and 7. So that's 18 a minute. That can use up to 20 a minute, and that can use way more than that. So that should help. Alright, well, let's see, it is 5:05, so it's a little right about the right time to end the stream. Thanks everyone for hanging out. I had a good time. So yeah, we're going to be playing Factorio Tuesdays and Thursdays for the foreseeable future. And other than that, we're playing Satisfactory on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. We are currently most of the way done debugging a heavy modular frame factory that makes 20 a minute, which is insane and completely ridiculous, but we're almost there. So if you're interested in gigantic factories in Satisfactory, then make sure to check that out. Otherwise, we'll be back here in Factorio sooner rather than later. And yeah, that's about it.